SummerSlam, Punk vs. Gunther. Great match. And people, yes, CM Punk is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Me and this dude both chugging and nutting. Couldn't get any better. Me, a happy chubby boy. CM Punk is a World Heavyweight Champion. All of a sudden, everything is right in the world. Okay, Seth Rollins comes out. Okay. And of course he beats CM Punk and takes the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm pissed. I'm angry. I knew it was coming and I'm still angry. It's still real to me, damn it. We knew it's going to happen. We knew it's going to make us angry, but it made sense, and this is wrestling at its best. Getting emotion out of you. As a CM Punk fan, as somebody who wants CM Punk to hold that championship, I'm absolutely shattered. It happened like 30 minutes ago, people. I have not recovered yet. SummerSlam was all about first time evers. First two-night affair. First Gunther vs. CM Punk match. Alexa and Charlotte won the tag team titles for the first time. Not only it was the first ever Jelly Roll match, he also gave Logan head. Lovely pay-per-view, actually really enjoyed it. Now, my biggest problem with this premium live event is that I enjoyed the most of it, but it didn't necessarily feel quite SummerSlam except for the final match. It's really hard to explain. It didn't necessarily feel that big, and I'm actually somebody who likes the idea of two-night premium live events. I know most arguments are telling me that it should be one night only, and some of these matches probably didn't really need to happen. As a wrestling fan, y'all know me. I like to turn on that poo-poo mode, poo-poo brain mode, where basically to me it's as simple as, I just watched SummerSlam, you know, I should feel that depression, but I get to watch the next day too. It's as simple as that. Dumbass brain. At the end of the day, I do love professional wrestling, people, and sure, one great show sounds a bit better, but I'm still excited about the fact that, you know, we got this huge moment. Seth Rollins ruining everything right here. I hate this guy. So we can process that, join the New Day more, and, you know, all that stuff. And then we get to watch Cody versus John Cena. Have I mentioned the giant booger yet? You know I will. Look at it. Now, people, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed wrestling content, and let's get into SummerSlam. The first match was a tag team match. It was Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus the Barons, the Heyman's Sugar Boys. Now, I enjoyed this match, but I hate this mid-match yeeting with music. I hate it. It breaks every concept of professional. It's the dumbest idea WWE came up with, and for whatever reason, it keeps happening. So basically, you know, we're in the middle of the match. And music starts, and don't do that. At least don't do the music. I hate it. It doesn't make any sense. He doesn't have the button to press music. Button to press music. Somebody said my English has improved. I think you're full of shit. Imagine that it had some hilarious spots. For example, Braun singing to Roman Reigns with the crowd, except he used different words. Obviously, Heyman with Roman's shoes. We got this crazy spot where Roman Reigns jumped over Braun Strowman and Bronson, which looked pretty scary. But the Browns really shined in this match. Like, they looked like a legitimate tag team. Absolutely loved it. We also got a 1D from Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, which is a really nice touch, them working together, knowing their history, people. One of my favorite spots of the match was Braun Breaker was without the straps, right? So he puts them on, and he does that just so he could remove them again. But a very fun opener. That's exactly the kind of match that should open SummerSlam, in my opinion. You know, this gigantic premium live event. And Roman Reigns sacrificed himself for Jey Uso, and that's how they won the match. We got the Uso splash, and unfortunately, Braun did get injured. We saw him limping. In the main event, we also saw him with you know, bandages and shit. So that's kind of scary. Hopefully he's okay. I have no idea. But a very good opener. Now, I personally would have had the Browns winning. I think they needed the victory more. I don't feel like Roman Reigns or Jey Uso have anything to gain. But I get it. Open the show with something nice, and at the end of the day, this faction still celebrated. They got the last laugh, so it's not that big of a deal. But I really enjoyed this match, you know, knowing the history of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, the sacrifice, the 1D, you know, it just got me thinking, long-term booking. A little bit. They were fighting together against each other. There's so much history, so it was kind of nice. It does feel like a conclusion to the whole story. I don't know where Rey Mysterio is right now, but he's definitely smiling, you know, familia. These Bloodline guys?
I'm honestly proud of him. You can overcome anything if there's love for familia.
Then we got the Women's Tag Team Championship match, so let me tell you, I have no idea why WWE decided to put this match second. This is the toughest spot on the card because most of the time the first match is an absolute banger and the second match always struggles unless there's something really, really big. This was not necessarily that exciting. It was nice. I'm loving this tag team, but why would you have back-to-back tag team matches? That was kind of weird, and I saw a lot of people, in the background walking to take a piss or shit. I have no idea. But the match was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it. I just feel like the crowd needed a break, But eventually it picked up because Alexa accidentally attacked Charlotte. But then we got the save, which finally got the crowd going. And people, I'm honestly kinda shocked that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair won the tag team championships. Y'all know why. By the way, my predictions video, garbage. Holy shit. I love that, by the way. Whenever I'm wrong about wrestling, I'm like, hell yeah, you surprised me. That's the entire point. When I'm telling you, oh, this is so obvious, and you're like, shut the fuck up, the great one. You don't know nothing, you dumbass. I'm like, yes, thank you. That's what I want. But yes, we have new tag team champions. I think eventually they'll probably win the tag team championships back because of Liv Morgan. I think that's the entire point. But, they're actually doing so great. I'm pretty sure they're selling a lot of merch. Like this, we're not friends bullshit. This is doing really, really good, and I'm enjoying this tag team. And they kind of swerved us anyway because Alexa accidentally attacked Charlotte Flair, so automatically you believe, okay, that's why they're losing. But that didn't happen, so I actually really appreciate these kind of moments where it seems obvious, but WWE does a completely 180. I appreciate that. Then we got Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. So obviously a very nice entrance. The match was very short though, and I was expecting a lot more. So, Sami got offered a weapon. Obviously he refused to use it. It was very underwhelming. The match ended just like that. Helluva kick, Sami pins him, and I can't be the only one who felt like, is Karrion not gonna get his contract renewed? This felt like a conclusion, not only to the story, but to his career, because, like I've said, this was really underwhelming. It didn't really seem like Sami was struggling that much. That's the biggest problem right here. Sami winning, I get it. I knew it's going to happen. But it didn't really seem like a shocker. How many losses Karrion Kross can take? This, honestly, I hope I'm wrong. This felt like I hate to use that word, burial, but something along those lines. It's like, yeah, the push is over, let it go. And I hope that's not the case. It was one of these matches where it didn't make sense for Sami Zayn to lose, but it didn't really make sense for Karrion Kross to lose either, so it was a no-win situation. But yeah, that was really, really underwhelming. The match was too short, just felt like a Raw match, really. Then we got Jade versus Tiffany. Again, another underwhelming, very short match. Some really nice spots, by the way. But I was really surprised by how, I wouldn't say weak Jade looked, but Tiffany Stratton actually won fair in like a 7-minute match or something like that. So Tiffany retains the championship. It didn't really seem like Jade was portrayed as this, you can't beat this woman, you cannot beat her. It's impossible. That's the vibe I used to get from her. If you beat Jade, like, that's a huge deal. She's pushed as this next big thing of the WWE. So it's great for Tiffany. It's absolutely amazing. She just proved herself as a worthy champion. But for Jade, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. Obviously, she was not ready for the championship. I'm glad she didn't win the championship. I'm just saying, it's like WWE didn't even try to protect her. And if it was like a 12-minute match, let's say, and she loses, okay, tough fight, somehow she lost. This didn't feel like that. This did not feel like that. Orton, Jelly, Drew, Logan, this was really, really fun. Exactly what this match needed to be. It was really interesting watching Logan Paul to be put in a position where he has to carry somebody in the ring. Like, all these years you have these veterans like Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, and they're carrying Logan Paul. Obviously because he's the celebrity, not a wrestler. But in this match we saw moments where he was the pro. He was the pro and Jelly Roll was the, new, fresh guy. I think Jelly Roll sold fine. He looked pretty good in the ring, but I honestly believe he looked way too strong. Like, sometimes it came off cartoonish. Like, okay, you're gonna stand up to Drew McIntyre, hit him with moves and stuff. To Drew McIntyre, really, Jelly? You giant booger having! The best part of the match was Logan doing head moves. B. J. He was doing, the jelly roll. People were laughing. Is he gonna get in trouble? That's the first time we saw something like that. That's not PG. But again, this match was really fun. That was the entire point. Jelly was obviously waiting for that announce table spot. It was really obvious, but I get it. So that was, this is like Logan's finisher at this point. Crowd absolutely went nuts. Then he came back. People loved it. Again, he started beating everybody, which is cartoonish, not only because he's Jelly Roll. He's not a wrestler. This is his first match and he's beating the shit out of Logan and Drew McIntyre, but also he just ate that move. Like, come on. Whatever, we got the boogie roll, I'm gonna call it, and the match ends in a classic way. Claymore, RKO, frog splash, and we got the right finish. The heel team won. It wouldn't make any sense for Jelly Roll and Randy Orton to win, especially since during this match, Jelly Roll looked really, really strong. And again, Drew needs some W's. Logan needs some W's. Randy has nothing to lose. He wasn't the one who got pinned. Pretty nice match. That's what wrestling is all about, people. It's about variety. Something for everybody. And you might feel like, well, this is not real wrestling, but the crowd loved it. They were absolutely hot during this match. This is what WWE is all about, And here's the thing. You got this chicanery, and then you jump into a really good match, CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I loved CM Punk's attire. Great camera work during this match, man. They made the chain wrestling look exciting. Really, really good match right here. Really, really good match. And for the most part, because I want CM Punk take this championship so much, I watched this almost like a casual again. Y'all know that feeling when you forget about, oh, this makes sense and that makes sense. No, I like CM Punk. I want him to win that championship. I don't give a single flying shit what makes and what doesn't make any goddamn sense. Just give me CM Punk. So all this hype, all this emotional investment made the ending of the night so much more hurtful. Wow, really enjoyed the match. Hard hitting. We got blood, people. We actually got color during this match, which made Gunther look like a badass. We got 2 GTSs, and CM Punk won the match. I was honestly shocked. He was crying. He was really emotional. It was a long celebration, which made me feel like, oh, thank you. Seth Rollins is not coming out. And then, of course, his music hits, but he's walking in crutches. I'm like, well, he's probably gonna, but nah, come on. He's just teasing. Of course he's lying. That lying piece of shit actually came out, beat the shit out of CM Punk with the briefcase, curb stomp, and he takes the championship. That's how the night ends. CM Punk got screwed, people. I got screwed. You got screwed. It makes sense for the story. I get it. That was the entire point. I told you this ever since they teased this match, really. Ever since he got injured, we actually talked about this possibility. So yeah, Seth Rollins is the new World Heavyweight Champion. CM Punk got his moment, just like Drew McIntyre, for like 5 minutes, which is really unfortunate. I know people are talking about Sami Zayn getting that moment. I think it needs to be CM Punk in the end. If Seth Rollins' mission is basically never allowing CM Punk to win that championship, what if CM Punk wins the championship off Seth Rollins? That's like the end goal, right? I feel like that's what WWE did right here. They pissed us off, but now we have this possibility, this hope that CM Punk is eventually going to get that championship. And not only that, he's going to beat Seth Rollins. Now, as I'm saying that, we also thought that's gonna happen with Drew McIntyre, but it never did. So, as a mark, I understand what's happening right here. As a casual wrestling fan, as a normal enjoyer, I'm like, well, I kind of saw Seth Rollins as a champion. It was a long-ass title reign. Give me Punk. I want something different. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the moment itself, yes, it was great. It was booked really, really well. Him walking in crutches and then just dropping them. And CM Punk knew shit's about to go down. Everything was done correctly. I just hope there's some payoff where CM Punk is gonna get that championship. I really want that. You know, I felt this moment when he held that championship. I was like, Raw is gonna be exciting. Maybe Cody and Punk with championship celebrating. And we didn't get that. I almost thought, okay, he's cashing in on Cody or Cena, or a failed cash in, or maybe he's legit injured. I have no idea. But you know what I'm feeling? Am I the only one who was like, I get it, it was a great moment, but at the same time, I want to see CM Punk as a champion. But anyway, people, that was your SummerSlam 2025. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, your boy, The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.